Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Adrienne Rose. Today's topic: how to disarm a rude person. This is a very karma free way to dismantle somebody who is being rude and annoying to you. I am a live performing musician and I come across all walks of life. Trust me, thousands of people cross my threshold of my little entertainment area. And I've been critiqued on all manner of things you can't possibly imagine. If you guys think you're tough, come try and be a live performing musician and have someone sit in front of your face and talk shit about you, and you still have to keep the show going and entertain everybody else. So I simply don't allow bad behavior, and I've learned quite a few tricks over the years on how to negate this and also how to not be a slave to people and to teach them a lesson without allowing my cortisol levels to spike, without allowing me to be taken out of my happy emotional state. So I'm going to teach you a technique that I learned from Chris Voss, and it's from this book, Never Split the Difference. And I highly recommend everybody read this. It's really cool. I've read it like a million times. There's tons of notes in there and stuff. So he was the lead FBI hostage negotiator. He's one of the best in the world. He literally wrote the books and taught the FBI how to negotiate with terrorists or how to not negotiate. But really, it's basically like a mind fuck. He really gets in and breaks down the psyche and teaches you how to penetrate somebody and disarm them. So the other day, I'm at my show playing about an hour and 45 minutes into the set. It's a little bit mellow at the first half of my shows. And then I kind of, as everybody has a few drinks and starts to feel a little saucy, then we kind of ramp things up. So this was in the first half of my show, a little more mellow. It's cocktail hour still. And, I keep it classy and beautiful. It's beautiful oceanside music. I play a lot of crooner stuff like Frank Sinatra and Van Morrison, and I get into like a little bit of bossa nova and some reggae, and it's a really beautiful blend of music everybody can enjoy, songs everyone knows. But I still stay true to my style. I'm a jazz musician. That's how I shine, right? So I had this guy, he was like a 50-year-old gay dude, sit down and he was singing along, enjoying himself, having some martinis. He was waiting for someone to join him. And I had another couple at the bar as well. So it's like a big piano that people can sit at like a table that I played at the show. And so he looks up at me after singing along to like 5 songs, was like, "Do you know Glitter by Pink?" Like just like that. I'm like, first of all, what the fuck is your deal? Why do you have to talk like that? Like what did I do to deserve that attitude? And I was like, "No, I'm sorry. I don't know any Pink." And he was like, "Well, I mean, like the piano bars that I've been to, it's just like they play like music that people can sing along to." He was just singing along to all my songs. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so this is step 1, is to remain calm and neutral and not engage, which really for the most part goes against every fiber of my being, especially somebody who has had a lot of like anger issues that I've healed in the past. Like my knee jerk reaction is to just like kind of choke the shit out of you and put you in your place. And I think sometimes people secretly want that. So people pick fights with you because of their own unhealed bullshit, right? That's not a reason to acquiesce to their bad behavior and to meet them there. You can rise above it. So the first step is to remain neutral and don't engage. How people treat you is their karma, but how you react is yours. So let's take accountability and just always remember this is going to be a practice too. You're not going to just get this off the bat. You got to practice this and implement it all the time as often as you can. So this becomes your new home base. So we're operating from a place of neutrality. So I'm not engaging with him, even though he was rude and annoying. So he's like, "You don't know Pink?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I have about 400 songs in my repertoire. Do you want me to play you any one of those?" He's like, "Well, I," and I was like, "You seem upset. Are you okay?" So that's step 2, is labeling somebody's emotion. Oftentimes, when you just label it and you say it out loud, it's like holding up a highly polished mirror in front of them. You're like showing them their own reflection. I don't know why I just got it's got a bunch of fireworks on here. That's cool. Yes, thank you. So you're showing them their own reflection, and a lot of times it's ugly, and people don't like that, so they'll stop right away because people don't want to be rude. They want to be rude and get away with it. But when you call them out on it, it makes it a lot harder for them to operate in their bullshit. So you're essentially doing it in a nice way that's still neutral and allowing both of you to retain your dignity. So, step one, stay calm. Step two, label their behavior. So I was like, you seem upset. And normally, whenever you say this, if, oh, you seem angry. Oh, it seems like you feel hurt. It seems like you feel this. People then, you give them a foothold to pivot from so they can change their behavior once you've shown them what they're doing. You labeled it, you called them out on it. Step three, you've remained calm, you've labeled their behavior. And then step three will be tactical empathy, which is what Chris Voss calls it. So you apply a loving and caring demeanor to the situation, whatever the topic is, whatever they're talking about, whatever the subject is. So I was like, you seem really upset. And then I shut my mouth. I said nothing. Most people just talk too much, okay? And you ruin this. So just say your piece, one sentence, and be quiet. You seem upset. Allow them to feel the discomfort and the awkwardness between the two of you. Create that space. They will talk. Trust me, people will do anything. They will chew their own arm off to get out of feeling that awkward silence. So let that hang. That is a tool, that is a resource that I use often. You seem upset. And then I just said nothing. And immediately he started to squirm. Well, no, I'm not upset. I go to a lot of performances and I see a lot of live music. So I just know, like, a lot of people play like Elton John. And so I was like, here's my tactical empathy. I said, wow, you seem to understand a great deal about this subject. And that can apply to whatever your person and rude person's talking about. I just said, wow, you seem to understand a lot about this subject. Not only does it give them an ego boost, like you're complimenting them, it feels like a compliment. And again, don't be condescending, just plainly state it. He goes, well, I mean, yeah, normally people play at piano bars like Elton John and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, you didn't ask me for Elton John. You asked me for Pink. I can play Elton John. Do you want me to play Elton John? And he said, well, no, I mean, I don't care. And then again, I labeled his behavior again because he was deflecting. And I said, well, it seems like you care a lot. Well, no. And then the other couple that was sitting there too, they were both watching this and laughing kind of to themselves. They were in their late 50s as well. And they were both like, it seems like you care a lot, dude. And so now you have three highly polished mirrors, reflecting this guy's bad behavior back onto him, and he can't win in this situation. So then he was like, well, no, I mean, just play whatever you want. And just to reframe it and circle all the way back around in a calm way, now that we've gone through this whole thing, I circled back to Pink and I was like, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Pink really a unique performer? And then this is establishing rapport. So I didn't have to repair the relationship, but you should always try if you can. And the goal of any relationship is to build rapport with a person because that's how they feel understood. And they will open up to you and let their guard down and hopefully stop being a pain in the butt. So I was like, isn't Pink really like known for being very unique? He's like, well, yeah, she's amazing. And I'm like, okay, well, I remember when she first came out, like she really fought against the music industry and the record labels. They were trying to package her as like hip hop, and she really rejected that and kind of defied them and refused to conform. And she was like, listen, that's just not who I am. I'm going to stand out and be the unique artist that I truly am inside. And I'm going to fight for that and stand up and express who I really am. And he was like, yeah, she did that. It was amazing. And I sat there and paused for just a second, let him absorb all of that, let it sink in. And then I was like, do you think it'd be okay if I tried that? Do you think it'd be okay if I played the music that was the truest expression of my soul while doing my best to entertain you? Do you think it would be okay if I did that? And he was like, well, oh. And then like he totally got where I was going with all of this. And now this is an extra bonus round step. This is something that I personally do and I highly recommend to everybody rather than fighting with somebody, especially if this is like, I don't care what kind of business owner you are or what your business is, if you're in customer service, if you're the entrepreneur, if you're whatever you're doing in life, it could be even with family and friends. There are consequences for bad behavior. So I punish people for bad behavior. And the easiest way to do that is to withdraw my services. You're cut off. You just don't have access to me anymore. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go fill my cup with some tequila, get a little saucy, and I'll meet you back here. And whatever these people do after you withdraw yourself, you take yourself out of the equation and you let them know like they are cut off, like they just don't get music now. So I will not take breaks unless something like that comes up. Like sometimes I truly do just need a quick break, but refill my cup, use the ladies, whatever. But if I'm really into it and the crowd's really into it, like I'm so happy that I won't leave and I'll keep playing. I'll stay late. I've stayed like an hour or so past like my performances before just because I was having so much fun with like the coolest people and I didn't want it to end and they didn't want it to end. And so I love stuff like that, nights like that, but also that's a reward for good behavior. That's a reward. And you have to train people how to treat you. Otherwise, they're going to walk all over you because most people don't have control in any other element of their lives, which is why they take their crap out and dump it on your lawn. And you got to say, not today, not today. Okay. So there are consequences for bad behavior. So I just withdrew myself politely. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take a break, on all of this and I'll be back. So I removed myself, took a long break. By the time I came back, he was gone, which I was glad. Good. See, bye. And what's the guy version of a Karen? I don't even know. Like Chaz, Chaz probably. Tad, whatever. Tad, see ya. And I came back. He was gone. The couple was still sitting there. They were very polite and they were like, well, I mean, do you know Piano Man? Like, yes, of course, I know Piano Man, but they were cool and nice and fun. So I played Piano Man, which is not my favorite song, but yeah, I'll play whatever as long as you're nice and cool and fun. Like, I can be swayed to do a lot. Like, not quite at the level of playing like Pink or Taylor Swift. That's just not my thing. I'm not a modern pop fan. That's just me. I still have to have some element of, authenticity to myself. And there are plenty of people who do that. But, I think that it's easy to kind of try to please everybody. It's easy to want to branch out and be everything to everyone. And it's hard to really establish firm boundaries with people. And that's something that I'm always still working on every single day of my life. I'm working on constantly like niching down and like closing the gap and really focusing on the most authentic place that I shine from, which is being a jazz singer. So I have no problem cutting people off now. If you can do it with kindness and love, why not? And that causes like zero cortisol spike in my body. Like if you can do that without causing yourself any stress and anxiety, then let's always do that. So love the Chris Voss. Check out all of his videos. They're really fun. I mean, you can apply these techniques to anything. It really does pay off. And I've applied this to so many different areas of my life. You can negotiate rent, you can negotiate a salary, it's just going to make communication with everybody that much more enjoyable when you don't have to fly off the handle and react and have a triggered emotional response to somebody else's bad behavior. So the next time somebody's rude to you, apply these couple of techniques and it's going to take some practice, I think, to really like implement them. So that's your go-to, home base. But try it and let me know if you guys try it and have any success with this. I love this book. I can't get enough of this. It's really changed my life. Like just knowing that I can just save and reserve my energy stores and I don't have to waste them on every jerk that comes, trying to start a fight with me. So let me know what you guys think. Please like and share this video if you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so we can hang out all the time. All right, stay free, everybody. As you know, this is the Freedom Podcast. We talk about mind, body, spirit freedom, not just our physical freedom, but also freedom from our addictions, freedom from our subconscious behaviors, freedom in all aspects of life. That's what we want. Financial freedom, emotional freedom. We don't want to be a slave to our emotions, and I always love uncovering like the root subconscious behaviors that drive humanity. Because once you bring the light of awareness to a situation, you're no longer imprisoned by it. You're no longer a prisoner of these unconscious impulses that we all have. So bringing awareness and your emotional intelligence, that's what's really going to drive the true essence of freedom into our DNA. So cheers. God bless you guys. Have a great day.